Here we go again, folks. Another brand new channel that decided to record police, and he quickly finds some tyrants. He was accosted for recording police in public, and this guy goes in to make a complaint. You guys definitely got to watch this video. One of the things that we're noticing about these videos is that the sergeants absolutely do not care about the people. They will go out of their way to defend the officers when they make mistakes. And this is another clear demonstration. The chiefs of police are the same thing, lieutenants. They are not here to serve the people. They are here to serve themselves. They are here to back the blue, and they are not here to serve you. Go subscribe to CKAudits. Let them know San Joaquin sent you. I'll see you in the comment section. Here's your video.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
How's it going?
Doing pretty well. How are you doing?
Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Yep.
So I was videotaping a police interaction between a couple police officers who were stopped with some people, and I am videoing this as well. Who had stopped with a couple people.
Sure.
It looked like I didn't ask a lot of questions about what was going on. I was just watching. It sounded like hit and run or whatever.
Sure.
After they were done with all of that, and here's where my questions come in. If a police officer is not actively chasing down an emergency, is he supposed to be using his emergency lights so that he can do illegal traffic things like pull U-turns in the middle of the road or back up through parking spots, which I guess isn't really that big of a deal, but U-turns in the middle of the road is kind of a big deal, right?
As long as we would prefer lights being on, but if
for that, which he had the lights on, but he was not investigating the incident that he originally had his lights on when he was doing these U-turns. He was going around and getting my pictures of my vehicle and me when I didn't have anything to do with the incident.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know if what he thought you were doing or not doing or whatever.
Right.
But he was obviously.
Well, he didn't even ask me any questions, so I'm not sure how that could be justified that he was investigating me or anything.
Well, I mean, what did he do specifically after he made the U-turn? Did he come up behind your car or what?
Yes. So
were you in your car or outside your car?
I left my car about half a block away because I was already parked doing some paperwork, and then I saw the police pulling up, so I got out, went up to videotape. I did see that I'd had a previous negative encounter with this officer, but I did not say anything to him. He was in his vehicle speaking with one of the people that had witnessed it or were involved. I'm not sure. He was working. I did not say anything. The gentleman he was talking to did say, "Hey, look, I don't want to be filmed. You have no right." I was like, "Well, I do have a right, but I will respectfully." Right. So then once all that was done, I crossed the street to where the other vehicle was. Rupert was on the south side of Prescott, and then there was a motorcycle officer parked on the north side of Prescott, right there by 9th Street, and he was dealing with, Rupert had pulled around,
right,
which I thought he was just getting closer to the scene, so I went around to where they were at and just tried to get closer, and then he turned around again, another U-turn, went down the block, pulled a U-turn up behind my vehicle. Well, actually, first he pulled up next to it, got pictures, and then backed up and got behind it, and I assume got pictures of the tag or something. And then
he
came
was
up to
obviously
me,
identifying you or your vehicle.
trying to for some reason, but yet he didn't have any questions for me as to why he would be investigating me.
Well, we don't have to investigate you to get you on video or.
No, I understand that, but as far as using emergency lights in order to perform two things that would otherwise be illegal for people to do when he's not investigating an emergency, I think, is that something that your policy protects?
No. Law enforcement has a responsibility, or when we're at a scene, I mean, we can go wherever we need to go to be at that scene, regardless, obviously there was a crash being investigated at the time, right?
Right.
Okay. So what goes on in his head as to what he's doing, we can do things. Sometimes we do it light, sometimes we don't. We reposition in the road.
So then if after that he pulls up to me, takes a picture of me, I go up to the vehicle. At first he does not want to roll down the window, but I asked him if he wanted me to go out in the street where his window was down. He said no, and he rolled the window down. I was like, was that a company phone or is it a personal phone? He said it's a company phone. I said that I'm going to need to get the documentation of what you just took of me and why you're investigating me. He said, no, it's a personal phone. I don't have to give you that. I said, so you're taking personal photos while you're on the clock. And for what? And he said, well, I'm going to go back and share this with the other guys and let them know that you're going to be documenting what we're doing and in case you are causing any problems.
Right.
So to me, that sounds like he's conspiring with other police officers to harass people that are just exercising their First Amendment rights.
Sure. And he did call me about this.
I figured.
To warn me that you might be coming in.
Good. It's not the first time I've filed a complaint on him.
So
last time it was because I was involving myself in a something that was happening in a public area that I thought looked like some people were harassing and I say people, some officers, young, were harassing a homeless guy. Who I'd just seen walk up, and then they pulled up. And granted, I didn't know anything what was going on, but when I asked the officers that were talking to him, they said they were just having a conversation, did not say anything about an investigation. And then Officer Rupert came over as I was still engaging with them in this, what I was told was a conversation. He came over and told me if I didn't get, I think he cursed me, I don't recall, if I didn't get away, that he would be arresting me for basically getting in the way of the investigation. I forget what that's called, but it's a catch-all for if I don't like what you're doing, I'm gonna take you to jail. If police are already involved, and apparently he doesn't understand that there's like some limitations on how you can use that. I know I'm fairly certain he's a sergeant, if I'm not mistaken.
He is not.
He's not a sergeant. Okay, like a training officer or something like that.
He's a traffic officer. He was out there with the motorcycle officer at that accident scene.
Gotcha.
Right.
So I know he's been with you guys a long time. I have actually had another positive experience with him. So I don't know if it's just if someone is in any way challenging what's going on, all of a sudden he loses his ability to be professional with the public.
So how is he unprofessional?
He took pictures of me with his personal phone while he was on the clock, which I'm not paying for people to be talking about what I do in my personal life while they're spending my tax dollars. He was doing things that I would have been pulled over for, using his emergency lights. And I get that you're saying who knows, but he came up to me and basically told me, no, I'm making sure that everyone knows to keep an eye out for you. So
right. He had reported to me that obviously you were recording the scene or whatever, and we understand that there's people out there that bait us into a confrontation. Okay. So what we're trying to do is we don't know what your situation is there at the scene doing what you're doing. Now, I haven't talked to him thoroughly, okay? But just like yourself who can record, we also can record. But
you've got those for company recording.
Correct.
And if he wanted to professionally approach me and investigate me in some way and not just take a picture on his personal phone to share with the guys and make sure that they knew to... I don't know what exactly. He told me
that he wanted to alert the patrol division if you were purposely trying to go to scenes to bait or get into a confrontation with officers.
Okay.
And so he just wanted to get your vehicle description yourself, which of course, you and I all have the freedom to do that.
Right.
We're not obstructing you. You're not obstructing us.
Except when you're acting as in a professional capacity as a law enforcer, what business do you have getting on your personal phone? I mean, is there just no rules on using personal communication throughout the day, or
the department doesn't provide us with cell phones,
okay,
so we have to use our own cell phones.
okay, so that kind of falls under both professional use and personal use. But then at what point, okay, so
if
I understand that, but under what? Okay.
So what I'm trying to get down to is, I need you, if you're going to make a complaint, write your specific complaints down here, and then we will also talk with him concerning his due process on this.
Okay.
So list them specifically. If you have, video out there that you want to provide us, you're welcome to email me. I'll give you my email, and you can email me the clip.
Okay.
And we'll be happy to log that. You bet.
All right. What's that? Or if you've got a card, actually, that's probably the easiest.
I don't have a card.
Okay.
But it's first name's Chad, CHAD, McCary, MCCARY, @salina.org. And you can email me the clip, and we'll take a look at what the interaction was and see if it was within policy and legal and all that stuff. If that's what you're making a claim of.
Right.
Of course, we don't want you to make a claim if it's not justified. So you're
No,
saying,
I understand. So you're saying that it's normal for police officers to approach law-abiding citizens exercising their rights. I did not engage either police officer. I did not speak to either one of them, and that just makes sense. It's normal for them to jump to the assumption that I have some intent to cause you guys problems.
I don't know what was going on in the officer's mind at the time.
Sure.
So I don't know what your actions were at the time.
So you're okay.
So as long as you're,
I'm telling you, I was standing there videotaping, not interacting with the officers or the investigation.
did the officer approach you and ask you what you were doing, or anything
No,
like
he
that?
just pulled up and took a photo of me, and then I assume I get to ask why it is that he's taking a photo of me, at least.
Well, we have public property out here. I can take a picture of anybody I want to take a picture of. I can video anything I want to. So
here too.
what I need to know from you is, did this officer interact with you directly, saying, why are you in my scene? Did you,
Fair enough. I guess then what I would like to do, in addition to filing a complaint, is request that the Salina Police Department. Do I have to file something in order to make sure that everyone in the police department knows not to harass me if all I'm doing is exercising my rights?
No,
Because it sounded to me like he was trying to let other people know, like, hey, this guy's going to be, he says on the video, I'm going to let other guys know that you're going to be on their scenes, possibly causing trouble.
We deal with suspicious activity all the time.
And walking down the street,
so if we
exercising
have
their
an
rights
indication that somebody is trying to be confrontational or baiting us into a confrontation, we may want to know who those people are so that we can not take the bait and not be confrontational. So him letting us know about you is not against policy. He can let anybody he wants to know about this. He can let his supervisor, his captain of patrol.
So if that's then taken as...
If he thinks you were, I don't know whether it's being obstinate or just being in his way or whatever. I don't know those facts, but there's nothing that's going to prevent him from alerting his peers to somebody that is potentially confrontational with the department.
Okay.
So, we do that. That happens all the time. We have people that come in here, like yourself, that's videoing, and obviously, I'm telling you what my take is on this.
Sure.
You have a right to a complaint.
Yep.
So let's get busy.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, I appreciate
when
it.
When you're done, you let the clerks know, and I'll come out here and get it.
All right.
Okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
This is an unsustainable system that we can no longer continue. Police officers don't know the laws. People don't know their rights. There are way too many lawsuits. Our country is in debt. All this officer safety nonsense has to stop. The people's safety is what's important, and it is heroism. Officer safety is a form of cowardice. They want to violate your rights. and they absolutely do not care what happens to you. Your wife and kids will long for you, and they will make a fat check violating your rights. They will go home to their families while you're rotting away in a cell because you didn't know your damn rights. If you're not subscribed to the American Eagle channel, do that now. Also go subscribe to CKAudits. Expect more videos from this channel. We all learn together, and I've taken it upon myself to go out of my way to help other channels grow, to let their voices be heard from sea to shining sea, and that the ground trembles when they speak. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you on the next video.